Hello, and welcome to episode 137 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. This channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'm doing a viewer request. Today's game was requested by the viewer Pac-Man Fan 2008, and the game they requested was Tetris. Tetris was released by multiple companies, but I only played the Atari version in arcades, so that is what I'll be reviewing today. Tetris was released in 1988. My first time playing this game was at Haunted Trails in Burbank, Illinois. Tetris is a puzzle game in which you control a continuous barrage of falling puzzle pieces called Tetriminos with a 3-way joystick and a rotate button. Each of the Tetriminos will consist of 4 smaller blocks. You need to strategically place the Tetriminos to form horizontal lines. Each time you complete a horizontal line, said line will disappear. The more lines you complete at a time, the more points you will earn. The most lines you can clear at once is 4, which is also known as a Tetris. This game takes place inside of a 2-dimensional well. The dimensions of the well will be 10 block units across and 20 block units deep. There will be 7 different shaped Tetriminos in all. The shapes will include a square, an L, a reversed L, a T, an S, a reversed S, and a straight line. One by one, the Tetriminos will begin at the top of the well and will begin falling downward. You can move the Tetriminos left or right with the joystick. You can use the button to rotate the Tetriminos. Each time you press the button, the Tetrimino will rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. The Tetriminos will automatically move downward, although pulling down on the joystick will increase their speed. If you let the Tetriminos fall by themselves, they will drop one row approximately every 4/10 of a second. If you hold down the joystick before the Tetriminos begin falling, they will fall one row approximately every 3/10 of a second, and if you repeatedly pull down on the joystick after the Tetrimino begins falling, the speed will increase to one row approximately every 13/100ths of a second. The object of this game is to complete as many horizontal lines as you can. Unlike most versions of Tetris, which are basically marathon mode, this version of Tetris takes things to a new level. You'll need to clear a predetermined number of lines to advance to the next round. Once you clear a predetermined number of lines, the round will end and you will earn a bonus for the number of empty lines in the well. Each level you will begin with a new well, although during the later levels you will begin with a handicap. If at any time any part of your Tetrimino lands on the 21st line or above, your game will end. After your game ends, you are allowed to continue and you will retain your score. The game begins with the difficulty select screen. You have the choice of 3 difficulties. The easy difficulty will begin with level 1, the medium difficulty will begin with level 4, and the hard difficulty will begin with level 7. You will earn bonus points for starting on the higher levels. The first 3 levels will play straight up and you will need to complete 5, 10, and 12 levels respectively to clear each round. Completing round 3 will bring you to a small cutscene where a Russian dancer will appear in the upper window and will do a short dance to give you a slight break between rounds. The little trick you can do is when the Russian is doing his dance, tapping the rotate button will cause a hook to emerge from the side and pull him out of the window. Rounds 4 to 6 will begin with blocks already in the well. Each round will have a more complex layout of blocks. You can use these blocks to complete rows. Rounds 7 through 9 will begin with an empty well, although approximately every 10 seconds a block will appear at random on top of one of the Tetriminos. These extra blocks can throw off your strategy. Just like any extra blocks in rounds 4 through 6, you can use these blocks to complete the rows. Rounds 10 through 12 will play similar to rounds 9 through 7, although instead of random blocks being added, nearly an entire row will be added to the bottom of the well, and the remaining blocks will be raised up one line. Rounds 13 through 15 will begin with blocks already in the well, similarly to rounds 4 through 6. Rounds 16 through 18 will begin with the initials of the top 3 players on the high scoreboard at the bottom of each well. If one of the top 3 initials is a space, the space will be replaced by a checkerboard pattern. Other than the initials, these rounds will play the same as 13 through 15. Rounds 19 through 21 will begin with the same block layout as rounds 4 through 6, although there will also be randomly added blocks during this round. Rounds 22 to 24 will play like rounds 19 to 21, although instead of random blocks being added, entire rows will be added. Rounds 25 through 27 will begin with an empty well, although random blocks as well as rows will be added approximately every 10 seconds. As the rounds advance, the Tetriminos will move faster as well as having more obstacles as well as more added blocks and rows. Tetris can also be played as a 2-player game. During 2-player mode, both players will play at the same time on a split screen. Player 1 will be on the left and player 2 will be on the right. If a player finishes before the other, the winning player will be allowed to play for bonus points. Once the other player finishes the round, or loses by having the Tetriminos reach the top, the bonus round will end. If the player playing the bonus round has one of the Tetriminos reach the top of the well, the bonus round will end, although the game will continue after the opposing player ends the round, whether by winning or losing. Due to this game being played simultaneously, the cocktail version of this game required a special ROM for proper gameplay. Due to the players sitting on opposite sides of the table, the playfield has been completely redone. The original screen was horizontally placed, although the cocktail version, the monitor was vertically placed. The playfield will still be split down the middle, although now the second player will be facing the opposite side of the first player. Scoring for the game is as follows. You'll earn between 0 and 500 points for placing each Tetrimino based on how fast you drop the Tetrimino into place. You'll earn 50 points for completing a single line, 150 points for completing a double, 400 points for completing a triple, and 900 points for completing a Tetris. For starting on higher difficulty, you'll begin with 20,000 points for beginning on medium difficulty and 40,000 points for beginning on hard difficulty. You will also earn a 2,000 point bonus for completing the goal first during a two-player game. Completing the target number of lines will award you bonus points based on how many empty lines you have remaining. The pattern of the bonus points is what you call a triangle sequence. This means if you have one empty line, you will earn 10 points, 2 empty lines will award you 30 points, which is 20 plus 10, 3 empty lines will score 60 points, which is 30 plus 20 plus 10, all the way up to 20 lines, which will score 2,100 points. I really enjoyed playing this game and highly recommend playing it whether in an arcade setting or on an emulator. I like this game more than faster, harder, more challenging Q*bert, but not as much as Trog, so Tetris moves into the 12th position overall. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Sunday.